Okay, let's go.
All right. So we have MesosCon NA debrief. Did you put that up?
Yeah, I just wanted to get any feedback or thoughts that anybody had, or if anybody talked to community members who had feedback on the conference, and that way we could pass it on to Jorg and Kim and just see what everybody thought. And I was also hoping to hear a little bit about the town halls because I wasn't able to go to the Mesos one because I was at the DCOS one.
Mm-hmm. So regarding the survey, are we doing something more formal regarding the survey, or are we just...
Oh, I assume there's a survey. I haven't been involved with it at all.
Okay, so we will get some insights from that formal survey, hopefully. Informally, I think it was good. I think the vibe was good. Like, I don't know what was the final attendance of the conference. Probably slightly lower than our Seattle one, I think, from what I was told, or even Denver one. But overall, I think, yeah, I met some new folks. The town halls were especially, at least the Mesos town hall was good and very involved, I would say, very engaged. I was only in one of those because I think they all overlapped at the same time, in fact. But the Mesos one probably had like 30-ish members attended, and we had a lot of discussions around the topics that G kind of started in his slides. So I think that was good. I think there was also some follow-up from that that probably G or someone captured. I don't remember who took the notes. I think probably Gilbert took the notes. We can chat with Gilbert to get the notes from the town hall and see if we can follow up on any of those. I will reach out to him. I put an action item for myself here. Yeah, that's pretty much my experience.
Cool. Did anybody hear anything about people feeling like it was Mesos focused enough, or that it wasn't Mesos focused enough, or there was too much DCOS? I know there was feedback on not having any Mesos stickers. Numerous people mentioned that to me.
We did not hear anything myself. I don't know about Ben or Andy.
Okay.
They have heard anything.
Cool. Anybody else? Thoughts on how the talks were, how the balance was, how the schedule was, anything like that?
At least from an outsider perspective, I thought the talks were pretty great. Actually, there was a lot of good core Meso stuff, which is most of why I was there. But there's DCOS stuff on the side. I'd say it was probably balanced since I didn't hear one way or the other. I also did a lot of booth duty, people coming by the Microsoft booth for the whole Mesos/DCOS on Windows, and it was about even actually on whether they were wondering about the core Mesos implementation on Windows or whether or not we had the DCOS stuff working. It was 50-50, I'd say even.
Cool. Were you at the town hall, Andy?
I only got to attend a bit of the town hall. It conflicted with a big team dinner as well, sadly.
Got it.
Yeah,
it did seem well populated when I was there, but then I had a ditch.
Yeah.
We heard, we were wondering if maybe because it was so late, like we might have had higher attendance if it had been a little earlier in the conference.
Oh, absolutely. I did notice like the last set of, after the lunch on the second day, all the talks were bare and the entire hall was empty. People kind of went to lunch and didn't come back, it seemed, just across the board.
Yeah, it was pretty.
I think we even ended up packing up our booth at like, I want to say 5, just because there was literally no one around and everybody else started packing up too.
Yeah, definitely. Cool, that's good to know. Nice. Anybody else have anything else to
I was there for the hackathon, the pre-event hackathon. That actually I thought went down really well across the board. I liked it anyway as a participant, and I want to say we had probably 2 or 3 dozen people in that room hacking on stuff. I did docs, and we actually had a whole table of people doing docs. Yeah, it was pretty Mesos focused, I think, but that was probably the point for the hackathon.
Yeah, I was pretty happy that people are hacking on docs. I think we should bring up the team again in the EU conference as well. I think that's really valuable. Like, I don't know if you ended up committing any of those. Do you know, Andy?
I know mine's not committed yet. I don't think I've seen anything really come through, but I think that the prototype of what was it? Swapping to Doxygen is still being worked on.
Okay. And Tim wanted to work on the version documentation, and I was going to follow up with him last time around. I did chat with him at MesosCon. He said he didn't work on it during hackathon because he was hacking with you guys on getting the deoxygen stuff working. So I think he's still trying to see if he can hack on it or whether it would be superseded by the effort to go to Sphinx or whatever that James Peach was working on.
Oh, that's right. You're right. I think it was Sphinx.
So I think Tim he didn't confirm to me like when he's trying to land the version documentation, but he definitely did not work on it during the hackathon. That much he told me.
Yeah. On that note, I do remember one thing getting through. Actually, I believe G's work on updating the isolators documentation did get committed, or at least is up for review.
Yeah, that was up for review. And I think there's something else up for review that Ben was shepherding. Ben, did we commit that one, the web UI stuff for the healthy?
Not the health one. I committed a different one, going past counters, but the health one, I gave him some comments. He just needed to update a couple more tables.
Okay. Yeah, G's one is committed, looks like. That's good.
Ben, what was the thing that you got committed? You were a little fuzzy.
It's from the same guy. It was just he added per framework task state counters.
And that got committed?
Yeah, that's committed.
Okay. Cool.
Cool.
What else?
That was all I had on MesosCon. Did anybody have opinions on lunch?
We did not have lunch.
Yeah, I know. I got a couple of comments on that. I got 2 people who were like, why isn't there lunch? Nobody's here. This is such a missed opportunity for networking. And I got one person who was like, I love that there's no lunch. We don't have to eat conference food. We can go out. It's so great. So it seemed to be pretty controversial.
I've got both camps. I personally loved that I got to go eat lunch wherever I wanted with like my group of people. That was great because I made some friends. Really cool people from the CFPB. It was awesome. But I know my boss was like, oh my God, why is there no lunch? We have to go get food. I'm like, well, yeah, this is great. Don't you think this is great? But I think she was looking for a conference lunch. So yeah, 50-50 again on that.
Yeah, I mean, I actually, did wish there was lunch, conference lunch. It's usually a chance for people to meet other people. Otherwise, I guess for me, both the days I ended up basically going out with the Mesos people, pretty much. So it wasn't that useful in terms of networking and get to know the community. Do you know why we didn't do lunch? Did we not get enough sponsorship?
Yeah, it was a budgeting issue.
Okay.
So I'm not sure we really had a choice about it, but.
Got it. Okay.
I almost wonder if for future ones there could be like an optional pre-sign-up lunch so you could get a number ahead of time of the people who want to go network amongst unknown people, and then you'd have a smaller lunch to budget as well. And then those of us who don't want to go to that wouldn't be pressured into it. That could work. I don't know. Just a thought.
Yeah, it's not a bad idea. Okay, so I guess if you don't know anything about the North America one, the next one was just going to chat briefly about the EU town halls. We are doing the town halls again for the EU in October, right, Jared?
Yes, we are. They're not on the schedule yet, but they will be happening.
Okay, and are we going to send emails to dev list and user list about that once they're confirmed, or have you already sent those?
I haven't already sent them, but when there is a link, we will send them.
Okay.
Did you think it was effective to send it to to do the working groups too? Or should I just send it generally to dev and user?
Just dev and user was okay. I mean, at least the format there didn't end up being very deep in terms of like technically deep to go into each working group. It was enough for all the developers to be there to have some good discussions, I thought.
Okay, great.
So yeah, dev and user list is probably okay.
Okay.
And is it going to be the same topics as what we did in North America?
I don't know. It's up to the group, to the town hall leaders who suggests the topics. So I'll figure out who's leading them. And if we want to suggest topics to the Mesos leader, that would be cool.
Yeah, I think I might be leading the Mesos one, or at least helping out with that one.
In that case, you're in charge.
Yeah, I'll probably start with the same list that G had, and maybe add something new. If there's anything else that's interesting, I think that we want to discuss. I think G had a good list when he was doing the North America one. And how are we looking in terms of registrations and everything for the EU? Did you get to see any numbers?
No, I have no idea. I'm not on the planning committee, so I don't have access to any of that. That's all Jorg, but I can ask him about it.
Okay. Like, do we need to do more outreach or publicity or something like that?
Probably always, yeah.
Okay. Okay. And the registration sign up to discount that's wrapping up today.
What was it?
The registration discount. There's usually a discount, like there's an early bird registration, right?
There's a 20% discount code that happens anytime.
Okay.
I think standard registration might have just ended. So, yeah.
Yeah, I think cannot find. Yeah, early bird is okay. Late registration is $500. Okay, so that just started today. Standard registration was $400. Okay, it got bumped up to $500 starting today.
Yeah.
Got it. Got it. Okay. Yeah, and then what's next? I think I wanted to follow up on previous action items. What did we have from last time?
We had changed the developer community meeting to eliminate the word community to decrease confusion.
Mostly for me.
I changed the name of the Zoom meeting. I changed the name of the calendar invite. I don't think I've gotten to it in the agenda yet, but.
Cool. So it's all updated?
What was that?
So it's all updated everywhere?
It's not. I don't think it's updated in the actual agenda, but on the calendar invite and the Zoom meeting it is.
Okay.
Can I add a tangential comment on that?
Yes.
I really appreciate that we've swapped to Zoom. Google Hangouts doesn't work in Firefox, and now I don't have to keep extra browsers around.
Nice. Good. All right. That's great feedback. Thank you.
And the next action item was for me to post a patch to update the contribution guidelines. I just posted one this morning. I did not do much on that until this morning. So I threw something together at the last minute and put it up. And the next action item was also for me, try to get the newsletter out. I tried to get in touch with the org. I still couldn't get access to that doc. So I think at this point, it's been a while since we gathered stuff from the committers. So I think we should maybe just reboot the newsletter and try to get like some fresh feedback from people. I can check in with the org and see what his status is with it. But we might want to kind of check back in with committers and find out what people have been working on recently and try to get an issue out soon. So I think we can keep pushing forward on that. But we probably need to invest a little time.
Cool.
I mean, we should have your give access to us if it's not going to have time to work on it. It's been like almost 2 months.
Yeah.
So yeah, if he doesn't have time, I think.
Yeah, I'll check in with him. If he's not going to have time, then either Jay or I could take over publishing the first
that
issue.
would be good.
Yep.
Okay.
And Judith, the next one was for you. Chat with Kubernetes.
No, didn't talk to her, but I will.
Okay.
So
I don't have particularly high hopes about this, but Slack just improved their analytics for the free accounts just a little bit. And so I'm not really sure how much granularity we want out of our Slack analytics, but it's possible that we might already have what we are looking for.
I think I think analytics was not the only thing I think that we wanted. The other thing was unlimited message history.
Oh, and search. Yeah. I honestly don't have high hopes that we're going to get this for free, but I will definitely talk to Sarah about it and see.
So I did chat with Chris Hanachek, who runs the Cloud Native Foundation. And he did tell me that they have to pull some strings and some wine, champagne bottles to someone at Slack to make sure they give them the free account, and they actually did get a free account.
Oh, okay.
Completely free account. And he told me that he'll put me in touch with someone that we know from Twitter.
Okay.
And see if that might work. But yeah, it's like we're not even, and he was suggesting some other open source chat solutions that we could use instead of using Slack, but I think that's a bigger change.
Mm-hmm.
So we still want to try to see if we can get a free account from Slack.
Who was it that you talked to?
Chris Hanachek.
How do you spell his last name?
I don't know how to spell it.
Okay.
But I can paste it.
Great. Sweet. Cool. So I will still follow up with Sarah, but it's good to know that someone else has done it.
Yeah. We need to get some good contacts at Slack to get an exception, which is the hard part.
Yeah. They don't happen to run on Mesos, do they?
No, not yet.
Cool.
I guess that's it. Anything else? Did we go through all of them?
No, the next one was check on status of version documentation.
Yeah, I guess I chatted about that one. Tim said he's still going to work on it. He didn't get to work on it during the hackathon. Send email to dev list about catching web UI. I think, Ben, you did send that email, right?
Yeah.
Any progress on that front?
Well, I mean, that's how the hackathon stuff happened. So that was something.
Okay.
There was some discussion. I think I haven't checked back to see if there were responses, but it turns out that I think for a lot of users it doesn't work when they have a particular networking setup.
Yeah.
So it'd be good to solve that for people.
The web UI doesn't work with a particular setup?
Yeah, there's someone talking about in the tunnel or something, it doesn't work. Like it keeps saying connecting or something.
Okay.
Because of the change that we made in 1.0, apparently.
Well, yeah. I mean, it wasn't clear to me why that change. Like I feel like I looked at that change and it just looks like how we used to talk to the agents as well. So I don't know why. Like maybe the master pages would have worked, but I think the agent pages wouldn't have worked originally for these people as well. I'm not sure, but
yeah,
I don't quite understand it fully right now.
When they tunnel, like SSH tunneling?
Well, I guess when they have a proxy or something in front of their cluster,
Okay.
and when they log into WebUI, they said it doesn't work.
Okay.
It used to work before 1.0 and it never worked after 1.0 apparently. I had to figure out why for these people.
Okay. And the last one was Doc Workday.
So I did, chat with Ben Edge about the doc Workday, and I think we're planning to get one set up. And we're trying to find a space to do it. I think we're talking with Yelp right now to see if they can host that, and if they give us space, I think the plan is to send an email to the community and invite the community members to come over. So if that works out, then we'll be announcing that soon. I think that we're still talking to Yelp folks to figure out if they can host it.
Sounds great. Oh, there are a couple more. Oh, no. That was it. Sweet.
Cool. Follow-up action items, contribution guidelines. Greg, you did something.
Yeah. So I just posted something today, and I don't know if we could just spend some time looking at it now.
Yeah.
Let's see if I can share my screen. Do you know how to do that, Vinod?
There should be a green share screen button in the bottom middle. If you're in full screen mode, it might not show up.
Cool.
Nice, there it is.
Sweet. So, Andy, you mentioned during our last meeting this newbie guide page, which I was actually totally unaware of before you had mentioned it.
That's part of the problem, isn't it?
Yeah. Well, I looked through the docs and I couldn't find any links to the newbie guide. I'm not sure if it's actually linked to anywhere. So
does it show up in our website?
I think if you go to like the full docs site where it has lists and lists and lists of links, I think it's there.
Okay. It's not in our website documentation. It's not getting called out.
Yeah, it's not in the home page.
Yeah, for sure.
So anyway,
it's not even under that page either.
Because this document is kind of already going in the direction of the first time contributors guide that we were talking about adding. So I was thinking we could just turn this document into that, and then turn the existing submitting a patch page into this advanced contribution guide page. So I submitted this patch. Oh, I guess I haven't actually published it yet. I will shortly.
I think the one thing we should do is just first link the newbie guide to the homepage.
Yeah. So my patch does that, and it makes some changes. So this patch is changing, submitting a patch to advanced contributions, and then making some changes to this newbie guide. to make it more of a first-time GitHub PR-oriented guide.
Okay.
And then adding some links for those.
Okay.
So this is the newbie contributors guide. It covers prereqs and then kind of walks you through downloading, building Mesos, figuring out what you want to do, and then making some changes, opening a PR. And then the latter section has some general guidance about what stout and lib process are. And then if you want to dig into Jira to find some work that you want to do, how to go about.
So
I like this.
do you want to talk about Jira and everything in the newbie guide, or is that too much?
Yeah, we don't necessarily have to.
So this stuff is not in the advanced guide, and it's
So the advanced guide has prerequisites. So this one's saying review board, Jira, RB tools, and then this is mostly the same as the existing submitting a patch guide, where it just kind of goes into the standard workflow. First tells you to set up accounts, get on mailing lists, and then yeah, it's the existing guide pretty much.
Do the guides cross-link to each other? So it's like, this is for new contributors. If you're submitting something complex, see advanced contribution guidelines.
Yeah, so that is the case. I don't think the reverse is the case right now. Like right now, this advanced guide isn't linking back to the beginner's guide, but I will add that for sure.
I probably should have gotten this to you sooner. I have some free content you can probably rip off that I've written in an external repo trying to get other people onboarded. Where can I share a link?
Oh,
here?
awesome.
There's a chat.
Yeah, that's excellent.
It's not great, but it might help cover some bases. Because I've got a little bit of a getting started on that link there, and then some of this stuff is only for Windows, but under, here it is, link. I found running unit tests is, you can run all of them really easily, but if you need to isolate down to one, you have to go learn exactly how Google Test works and all that stuff. And I saw briefly as you scrolled through a mention of that at the very bottom, but I've got some more details on that one too.
Okay. Awesome.
I think it was in the newbie log. You had something there, but yeah, I just linked to in the notes. I have development docs. Most of it is Windows oriented, but some of it's some beginner. Like here's how you can run a single unit test kind of stuff.
Okay.
Feel free to rip all of that off. It's totally just, well, I don't have a license on this repo, so it's public domain, I guess.
You've forfeited your rights.
Yeah.
Sweet. Thank you. That's really helpful. I appreciate that.
No problem.
And in general, I'm open to this being, edited, torn apart, updated. This is just my very quick first hack at it. So.
Oh yeah, I like it. It looked like you made changes to the newbie guide. That didn't look quite the same newbie guide as I was familiar with.
Oh yeah, this is definitely, I made some significant changes here, and then the advanced guide is more or less the same as it was.
Right. Yeah, there's this right here, what you're showing me, newbie guide, updated. This looks pretty good, actually. I like it.
Cool. Yeah, and I think that's probably where we want to make this a really friendly first landing page. So if anybody has suggestions as to like things that we definitely need to call out early on, it's definitely be welcome. Yeah, and then I think the links that I updated were in the community page. So right now, we have this contribute a patch or contribute a core patch section. So I just added another link there. So we have explicitly, this is our newbie guide and this is our advanced guide. Yeah, but the review's up, and I'll continue working on it. I definitely love to get comments from anybody who's interested.
Okay, can you just add the link to the PR or add the link to the review board thing into the agenda?
Yeah, absolutely.
Maybe this should have been a PR.
Yeah, maybe it should have been actually. That might be more appropriate. Oops. Okay. Okay, and the only other item was the newsletter. We already spoke about that.
Mm-hmm. Do you want to put an action item for that to get it from York?
Yeah. Okay.
Cool.
Sweet. Anybody else have anything to talk about?
I don't.
I don't think so. I think Mesoscon was a pretty good success. I enjoyed my time. I hope everyone else did.
Mm-hmm.
I did. It was my first one.
Same.
Cool. Glad you guys enjoyed. Yeah, one thing we should probably do is try to spread them out more next year. I think we gave that feedback last year as well, but it didn't happen this year because of the tie-up with the Linux Foundation and how they run events. But maybe next year we should try to see if we can spread them apart better so we don't try to squish them all into the fall. Cool. Is there anything else? I think we can break early.
Yep.
Cool.
Cool. Well, thanks everybody.
Thanks,
Thanks,
guys.
guys.
Greg,
See you
I'm going
next
to
time.
give yours a proper review soon.
Awesome. Thank you, Andy. Really appreciate it.
Sweet. See you guys next time.
Bye.
Yeah.
Bye.